Hey everyone, it's Richard Metal Fan here, bringing you guys an old school album review. And today we're going to be looking into this album's 20th anniversary. It's from one of my favorite artists and a pretty underlooked album in my opinion. And as conceivable of the title, today we're going to be looking into Abigail 2 The Revenge by the almighty King Diamond, the band's 10th full-length album released on January 29th, 2002 through Metal Blade Records. Now, Abigail 2, as I'm pretty sure a lot of you obviously know, is sort of like the sequel to the original Abigail album, which came out in 1987, which in my opinion is still the best King Diamond album. And this album pretty much correlates to like the original Abigail, pretty much the concept, and it's pretty much the listener discovers that Abigail is like the half-sister of O'Brien, who is the mysterious leader of the Black Horsemen, and is kept alive by his intervention, and pretty much, I don't know, it's like some crazy shit. And it takes place in the year 1863, and Abigail turned 18 years old, and walking into the forest, she is caught by a storm and taken by surprise, causes her to lose her way and just stumble upon the LaFay mansion, which the gates are locked tight. And then Abigail is surprised to see the little one, the original Abigail from 1777, unlock the gates and disappear into the house. And then Abigail enters the mansion, is greeted by Jonathan's imposing and shaven-headed servant, Brandon Henry, and it's revealed that Jonathan did not die after he fell down the stairs, but he uses a wheelchair part-time and must walk with a cane. He's not moved on from Miriam's death and now calls himself Count LaFay, and he greets Abigail, and he pretty much fucking rapes her and just produce an air of Abigail, which is just it's just crazy shit overall. In this album, they had a lineup change on this, and they pretty much have a new guitarist, Mike Weed, and a new drummer, Matt Thompson, and they're not related to me, of course. But anyway, this like production wise, it's pretty raw sounding, kind of like takes you back to like the first Abigail album. The vocals, King Diamond, great as always, nothing really much to say here, and the guitar work from Andy LaRocque and Mike Weed, they both just come up with some really great riffs and leads, and they pretty much work well with each other. The bass from Hal Patino is really great, and drumming wise, Matt Thompson does a great job on the drums. So without further ado, let's dive into this album track by track. Now, starting things off is Spare This Life. Now, O'Brien with the Black Horseman pretty much tells you about sparing the life of an 18-year-old because she and her twin spirits are like a half born little sister, which is just really interesting. And then it just goes into the next song, The Storm. Now, the guitars are perfect in this track, and they pretty much follow everything that Abigail does while the drums kick in, and soon she gets lost in the forest, and Abigail is being chased by something, so she makes a run for it, and then it just goes into the next song, which is called Mansion in Sorrow. Now, the chorus in this song is really good here. Abigail arrives at the gates, and suddenly the little one appears and goes straight through her body, and then the drums like pick up, and then suddenly and I think that Matt Thompson is probably the best drummer that King Diamond has had since Mickey D. And then continuing with the story after like Abigail arrives at the gate, the door opens and comes out the caretaker Brandon Henry, who invites Abigail into the mansion, and she enters the shrine with 18 portraits hanging and goes upstairs where she sees Jonathan. And then we goes into the next song, which is called Miriam. And the way it starts, it's just so sick with the bass and drums working perfectly together in unison. And Abigail wanders about the dark setting that Jonathan, who is in a wheelchair, tells her to stand by the fireplace. And he sees Miriam and Abigail as he approaches and asks who she is. And then Abigail can tell him that she can't believe the resemblance. Next up is Little One. Now, Little One is an important song, and it's about the little one searching for her mother every night throughout the mansion, and Abigail hears the little one crying, "Mommy," and she goes downstairs and finds the little one, who tells her that she is her twin spirit from years ago. And Abigail remembers the name Jonathan from the back. Then when she used to sneak out of bed when she was 6, she'd listen to stories about Jonathan and the little one. And Abigail has made up her mind she's going to stay in the mansion to help the little one find her mommy. Next up is Slippery Stairs. Now, first of all, Slippery Stairs is a very important element in both Abigail albums. It's pretty much here where Jonathan sees Miriam posed by the little one over the first Abigail. And I love how the guitars on this song really just sound, and one of them mid break, and then the heavy bass pretty much lets the drums like play out and listen on how Brandon Henry tells Abigail about the crypt and the little one, and she should never go down there at night where the slippery stairs are. But on the second day, Jonathan invites Abigail to her room, and it's just a fucked up shit right there. Next up is the Crypt. Now the Crypt is pretty much Abigail is like pissed and seeking revenge while Jonathan sleeps, and she goes down into the crypt. And the song musically, the bass in here pretty much gives you the sense of Abigail has had enough of this place about what happened, and she finds a coffin with the name Abigail and opens it up to find a mummified infant wearing a sharp necklace with wings. And then she takes it and swears revenge on anybody who gets in her way. Next song on the album is called Broken Glass. Now, Broken Glass is, at this point, you feel Abigail's pain, and King Diamond's vocals really paint the picture perfectly for this one. While you hear the glass breaking, you wonder what's that for, and all I could say is just dinner is served. Moving on to More Than Pain. Now, Jonathan gets what he deserves here. He's just so in love with his new Miriam that he has no clue what he's in for, just at the beginning of Abigail's revenge. And this is a slow, sick song with perfect guitars, and it gives you the sense that death is nearing. And the best part is like King's like maniacal laughter. Next song on the album is called The Wheelchair. Now, everything is like perfect on this. The drums never let up, and the guitars mimic everything that Abigail does on here, which is I thing I love about this album. And just like the music sort of like plays with the narrative, and the same thing with the vocals. It just really just hits right there. But then anyway, going back to The Wheelchair, like where I was leaving off, like it's just torturing Jonathan while he slowly dies in his wheelchair, and Abigail has the little one spirit hit inside of her, and they both seek revenge, and she's just fucking ridiculous, man. Anyway, moving on to Spirits. Now, King's haunting opening vocal with Jonathan is dead, and then finally Abigail and the little one get what they wanted, but at what cost? And Abigail is so fascinated by the burning body of Jonathan that she doesn't care, and she catches on fire as soon as the whole mansion is just up in flames. And then spirits are in the air in the perfect chorus, and then all the spirits that just lived in this godforsaken mansion are pretty much free. Mommy. Now, King Diamond pretty much narrates the outcome of the little one. She wanders about the mansion waiting for Mommy forever, and then King tells you about the Countess from the first Abigail. Oh, and will the little one ever find her mommy? And then we get to the last song called Sorry Dear, and this one, the little one cries for her mommy, begging to go home, and then the voice says sorry dear. Just a chilling way to end this album. Now overall, Abigail 2 The Revenge by King Diamond, great album, great way to pick off from the original Abigail. So rather give this album a score, I'm going to give Abigail 2 The Revenge a solid 9 out of 10. So yeah, that's my review of the album, guys. Let me know in the comments what you guys think about the album, and I'll see you all in the next video. And as always, keep it metal.